Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on here. We are live here from Subaru Park as we are live for the Union match recap. The Philadelphia Union just completed their first playoff match, the second round of the MLS Cup playoffs, in a big 1-0 victory here. Look, it's a typical playoff game here down in Chester, Pennsylvania. The runs are a little bit faster, the goals are a little bit louder, and the slide tackles are a little bit harder, and there's a whole bunch of shithousery. I'll be quite honest with you, tonight, it kind of felt like that. There was a lot of shithousery. It kind of felt like last year's playoff run, and in the beginning of the first half, you're wondering, is this going to be another letdown? In the second half, you're just worried about Brujo Martinez, and just like your nerves are just going up and down. This is why you love the playoffs. Everything we had bargained for came here tonight, and it was a lot of freaking fun. As we got AK Gaming coming on here saying we saw me on TV. Thank you to everyone showing love and sending their support here. But guys, I'm on cloud dupe because the fact of the matter is tonight was the first test, and I thought that the Union handled it very well. And the fact is, the team that we faced off here tonight in Subaru Park was a pretty damn good team. I mean, Cincinnati, they really have exceeded expectations this season, and what both Pat Noonan, Chris Albright were able to implement Cincinnati is clearly working. They played Philadelphia really tough. It was a tough-nosed match for 90 minutes, and they had some really solid opportunities, so you definitely got to give them some credit. But at the end of the day, the Union, like we talked about in the preview, experience and then just straight up players who know exactly what they're doing. The veteran leadership, the playoff experience was just big enough, and that was the key factor for here for the Philadelphia Union to get the dub. But I want to welcome everyone formally to Union Match Recap. Of course, I'm your boy, El Parcero Philly, the United of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. Real quick, guys, so obviously this is a quick live. We're not going live through YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all the above. But guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe for more Philly sports. Obviously, we do know the Sixers were playing here tonight, which I cannot wait to go back home and watch that game. But obviously, tonight, right now, it is about the Philadelphia, so make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. But as you get into this match, going into it, first off, when you look at the lineup and when you look at just kind of the injury report, the worry was about Alejandro Bedoya. Obviously, we knew that he was on the injury list. We knew that he wasn't a full participant in all the practices, but we would think that Ali would play here tonight because of just who he is, but it is clear as day. Let me tell you something. The fact that Alejandro Bedoya was not playing here tonight is a big indicator of how serious this injury is. And for sure, I believe that is the reason why he did not suit up here tonight. And that was a big blow. And so I really wanted to see how the Union would respond, because you do know that in any moment you think that things are going in the wrong way, you have your captain out there on the right that you can rely on, and he can get the guys going. And so that was a big key going into it. So you had, obviously, Andre Blake in goal, Wagner, Elliot Glesnes, and, of course, Mbaizo getting the start at the right fullback position, with your diamond being Leon Flach and Brujo Martinez. Jack McGlynn got the start over Alejandro Bedoya, and at the tip of the diamond, you had Daniel Gazdak, with your two forwards being Julian Carranza and Michael Uwa. And to start off this match, we talked about how we wanted this team to start off quick. Use that possession. We know this team can possess the ball. That's what has changed with this team throughout from the first to the second half of the season. If you guys remember how much they struggled to score goals throughout the first half of the season, how the dynamic changed, and how the philosophy changed for the team. And so going into latter part of after the 20 minutes, it was really evenly tested, and you had there was a lot of freaking fouls here tonight between both teams, and you had a lot of stoppage in play. Although we'll say the Union in the first half, one thing that was really working from them were the set pieces. They had a lot of good opportunities. You had the Daniel Gazdak hitter from off the corner kick. You had the Julian Carranza one that both of them went just a tad bit wide, and you had opportunities to score goals. But we talked about that. Actually, we talked about that on Twitter, because I forgot to put that on there on both previews. But set pieces were a big key because of the struggles that Cincinnati had on the set pieces throughout the season. So that's really what you wanted to see as the Union take advantage of those set pieces. And I thought through that first half, their best opportunities came off those set pieces. And of course, El Brujo Martinez, that was another key going into this match. Luciano Costa is a very dangerous number 10 who can create for his own and can create for others. And a big part of the dynamic attack of FC Cincinnati this season has been because of Luciano Costa and what he's able to do in that midfield. So that was really the key test, and it was a very entertaining battle. And I think that El Brujo Martinez, for the most part, won this. And El Brujo Martinez clearly picked up a knock. I'm curious to see what Jim's saying right now in the press conference of what it is, that knock that he did in fact pick up, because he looked a little bit slow and he fell to the ground, and I don't think it was just him just wasting time. I think he actually had an injury. I think he was actually in pain. And so I'm curious to see how he's going to feel going into the next match. I was sitting there looking at Tim and Justin, my counterparts on Dubai the River, and I'm wondering, like, do we have to take Brujo Martinez out because of just how much he was falling to the ground? And I'm thinking to myself, what are the possibilities? Do you put in Quinn Sullivan, move Leon Flock, move Jack McGlynn to the left? Do you put in Paxton Aronson, a position where the Union don't typically like to play him in? And that was definitely a bit of a concern. But after what was it, 44 minutes of play, 49 minutes of play? Got to do the math, guys. There was a lot of injury time both in the end of the first and in the end of the second half, but it was 0-0 going into the second half. And I thought there would be a goal by the Union, but it just didn't happen that way. And so, of course, going into the second half, you really just wanted to see the Union start off quick, because Cincinnati is more than capable of starting off quick. And so the Union, I think that both teams, honestly, in the second half, really turned it up a notch. The Union definitely did have the better opportunities. And the big difference, I feel like, in the second half as a whole was the play in the final third. I really felt like they were a little more clinical. They had some great opportunities, couldn't finish, but they had some really solid opportunities. And then, of course, in the 60th minute, everything changed for the Union as you had a ball squirming around through the final third after a couple of great opportunities by the Union. And Leon Flock in the right place at the right time to squirt that ball through, hit it so awkwardly off the outside of his foot. You guys, Leon Flock's not the most technical with his feet. He works his ass off, and he's got some pace to him as well. But expecting him to score golazos, it's something that you're probably not going to rely upon. But again, a lot of back and forth. It was really interesting to see, back to the Brujo Martinez talk, but we did a really good job of showing that Luciano Costa. And to the point that Lucho was really struggling trying to create an attack. And so what Luciano Costa started doing out of desperation was sliding more over to the left-hand side of the pitch, lining up with Olivier Mbaizo and Jack McGlynn, knowing that that was the weakness of the Union defense. And that's how desperate he was to try to create something for FC Cincinnati. And he's very active. He's a big part of what they try to do in the attack. And the Union, I really feel like, did a really solid job of slowing Luciano Costa down. They frustrated him all throughout the night. He didn't have any really good opportunities, even on free kicks that are like literally 20 yards out. He's skyrocketing these bad boys. You got Tim Lumberguth right next to me is yelling out, "What are you trying out for the frickin' Bengals?" Because it's just how off he really was. And I really do think that the Union did a really good job of shutting down that front line. Brandon Vasquez had one great opportunity. That was off of a turnover in the final third, and that was off of Leon Flock. Harrison Awful, I think his name is, the number 5, the CDM for Cincinnati. Dude, that kid's got some pace. That kid's got some tenacity. He's a really strong-minded CDM, and kind of in the same build as, I would say, maybe Ed Brujo Martinez, or even like an N'Golo Kanté. We're not saying he's N'Golo Kanté, take it easy, but he's kind of in that same type of style. Small, they're fast, they're very, very physical, and they know how to get the track down the ball and then help create on the counterattack. But other than that, Brandon Vasquez was really quiet. Brenner, I literally did not hear Brenner's name not once here tonight. And that is one guy who really does a great job of linking up the play, getting the ball back to Luciano Costa, or getting the ball to Brandon Vasquez. And he really was not even relevant in this damn game. And so the Union, the one thing that you all heard about going into this match was, how were the Union going to combat this attack of FC Cincinnati? How were the Union going to combat this front line of FC Cincinnati? Well, the fact of the matter is, the Union did a great job of shutting it down. And it was really funny. At the end of the first half, the Union they won the possession battle. It was like 51 to 47, something like that. It wound up being 54 to 46 at the end of it, Cincinnati winning the possession battle. But at the end of the day, like, playoff soccer, playoff sport, it's not about tactics. It has something to do a little bit with talent, but it's about the will, and it's about the experience. And at the end of the day, the Philadelphia have that. I really do think that was a difference. No disrespect here. We're going to give Cincinnati all the credit in the world, but I really do think that the difference here tonight was the fact that the guys on the other side are just a little bit more seasoned, have done this before. And yes, Cincinnati's back line definitely needs some work. 110% definitely needs some work. I thought Olivier Mbaizo did a solid job here tonight as well. The one thing I was concerned about was the defense, and I really think he answered the bell. Obviously, you know, when you got Luciano Costa trying to drift a little bit to the left because he's trying to create the attack and he wants to go up against that right side of the Union back line because he knows how it can be weak, or just the right side of the Union attack in general, or the Union lineup in general. That was really big, and they did a great job of just shutting that down. And I think Olivier Mbaizo definitely deserves a lot of freaking credit for his play tonight. It is not very much. It is very unorthodox for Olivier Mbaizo to have a good defensive game, but I really felt like Mbaizo really stepped it up here tonight. And of course, you know he's always going to contribute on the attack. And still, without Alejandro Bedoya, the attack really did go through the right side of the pitch a lot more than you guys thought it would have, right? Because they still like Jack McGlynn, and you also saw Michael Uwa drop deeper. And Michael Uwa I want to see the numbers. He was running all throughout the damn pitch. His workload had to be ridiculous here tonight. And it's a guy who, listen, he may not be scoring all the goals right now, but what he does off the ball, it is so important. You guys know me, I talk about that all the damn time, but it is so important what Michael Uwa does off the ball, and he was a big piece of it too. And you know, Gazdak, you know, he talked about after the MVP talk, you know, the whole, I'm going to show the voters why they messed up and not including me in the final nominations for MVP. And I thought that Daniel Gazdak also had a side. I would have loved him to get a goal, and he had a couple opportunities to nail in a goal, but at the end of the day, you know, he still had a solid match. And I will say this, not to critique too much, because at the end of the day, you did get the win. I would like this. I do feel like there was another goal to be had here, because I do feel like Cincinnati, as good as they are, you are a better team, and no one should have expected a 6-7-8 8-0 game, right? Because this is the playoffs. It's different. The intensity is way different. And for the Philadelphia Union, you just wanted to get the win. It's not really about the style points at this point. It's about getting the dub in any which way possible. And it's really big because considering the second half and considering the fact that Cincinnati has been a really solid second half team, if you guys look at their first match against the Red Bull, they really turned it on over the last 20 minutes of that match and stole that game away. They forced Dylan Nealis into some bad spots. And you knew that was not going to happen. Like, you don't have Dylan Nealis in your back line. You got Jakob Glesnes, you have Jack Elliott. There's no Dylan Nealis-ness going on out there. And it was truly tested and it was truly proven. Sergio Santos did come in for a couple minutes at the end, and I was definitely concerned about that because Sergio's had magic coming off the bench here in Chester, but he did not provide much of anything. And it is clear, and I love Sergio, and it was fun watching him for a couple seasons, but it is clear that age is catching up to him, and the body, just in general. It's not his fault that his body just continues to crap out on him, but we thank you, Sergio. We thank you, and I thought he would do more, but you know, it was what it was. And look, at the end of the day here with the Union in this match, you know, again, the Union just had a little bit more here tonight, and I really feel like that was really the big difference. The chippiness, there was a lot of back and forth, there was a lot of fighting, a lot of extracurricular activity. El Brujo Martinez, you know he's going to get into all of that. Olivier, there was one instance where I think it was Junior Moreno falls to the ground with the ball right in front of him. Olivier Mbaizo kind of slow reacts and he kicks the ball into him. And so then you get what was it, Barreal coming over, trying to defend him, and he's pushing an official into Olivier Mbaizo. This dude literally thought it was okay to push an official into a player. And that was just going on. But that's kind of what you expect. I mean, that happened against Nashville last year. And you guys know Nashville and Philly really don't have much of a rivalry, if any. And so the intensity is what you need to bring every single match. And I like to see that. I like Kai Wagner shoving a defender on the ground and flexing on him, telling him, I'm the one that's going to the Prem next year, not you. I am. And those are the type of things you want the confidence a little bit, right? You want that little bit of that confidence, but you also want to stay grounded and stay humble as well. But it was great, guys. It was absolutely a great night here. What's going on, guys? AK Game, what's happening, man? I appreciate that, brother. Yes, we were on TV, we were on Twitter. I appreciate it, guys. Hey, man, you know, it's not just the Philly sports guy. The Philly sports guy was here too. He was showing love. He was rocking his Union jersey with the Philly sports trips on it. It was good seeing him in here, man. Yes, AK Gaming. So that's next. So obviously the whole MLS, the big boys who cover the league are going to be down over in LA because El Tráfico's going on tonight. But I mean, come on. Come on, could have given us more. We had Jill Sakovic. That was kind of cool, but that's going to be a fun one. I do, listen, real quick, I do think that the Galaxy's going to win tonight. It's going to be wild, but I believe that LAFC, this is going to be it for them. I really do. What's up, Mike? What's happening, baby? What's going on, man? Let's go. Let's go. Daniel, what's happening, man? Let's effing go, brother. What's up, Luke? What's going on, man? Dude, I'm living life, man. Union facing NYC or Montreal, boy. Yo, AK Gaming, don't tell anybody. But I want NYCFC. I do. I really do want NYCFC to come to Subaru Park. I want my sweet revenge. And there's a good chance that NYCFC could beat Montreal. But tomorrow's match is going to be very, very, very impressive. Because Montreal, it's their last chance. You know, they have a bunch of players that are going to be leaving the club right after. This has been such a historic season for Montreal. And then you got NYCFC, a little bit of a Cinderella story. Did not think they would beat Miami 3-0. Going into Montreal, they have the championship pedigree. That is going to be a lot of fun. But yes, I want NYCFC. I want them to come here. So I'm going to be rooting for NYCFC. But that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, obviously in Montreal, you guys know it's all through Mihalovic, and it's a quick pace style of soccer. They like to dictate the pace of the game. They love the counter-attacking game as well. And when it comes to NYCFC, I really haven't watched NYCFC this season or since Tati Castellanos left. It's a little bit different now because everything kind of does not go through Tati Castellanos anymore, or you don't have that forward up there. And Nick Cushing has to get a little bit more creative with his tactics. Yeah, man, I definitely want NYCFC. But I'll take either or, man. I think that this team is going. This team just showed you tonight. I mean, it doesn't matter how you get it done. You have to get it done, and that's what championship caliber teams do, and that's pretty much all you can do. What's up right now? What's happening, man? Throw them W's up. Throw them W's up. It's 0-0, right? It just started, right? Not too long ago. 20 minutes in. Okay. All right. That could be a late one, man. Yo, by the way, if the Galaxy win tonight, they own LA. Like, I don't want to hear from LAFC fans. I don't want to hear Gareth Bale, Chiellini, Carlos Vela. I don't want to hear that. You cannot beat Galaxy. Ellos son tus papás. You feel me? I understand. Yeah, man. Listen, last year still hurts a little bit. And I think that for these guys, it also hurts a little bit for them as well. Because, listen, we should have won the MLS Cup last year. And that's just a fact of the matter. W, exactly. Yes, exactly, right on. Exactly. So, guys, rest up. I'm sure these guys are going to rest up as well. I would also, one more point, I would have loved to see Coy Sullivan out there. If you guys did not hear, his grandfather did pass away this past week, and so sure he's playing with heavy hearts, and I'm sure I would love to see him. Hey, my Jamaica Andre Blake to the world. We love. That's one. I appreciate you bringing that up, Jalil, because I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, by the way. Janelle. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. But regardless, Andre Blake, that was a performance. That was a playoff championship caliber performance that he did. He had some big saves, especially in that second half. And you know Cincinnati were doing everything possible to get that goal, to draw it up, tie it up. I think it was Junior Moreno hits a ball from outside of the box, curls it. It's a ball that kind of squirts through. He gets the ball right outside the box and he just kind of curls it in. And Andre Blake with a huge save. He had a bunch of huge saves. He was, again, a big reason why you won today. You heard the MVP chants over in Subaru Park as well. Rightfully so. He definitely deserved those chants there. It does. I want you guys to win. I appreciate that, AK Game, and I appreciate that. AK Game, I want you guys to get Juanfer Quintero. Juanfer Quintero is one of my favorite Colombian national team players. I would love to see him in the MLS. But obviously, you guys got Shaqiri, so you guys got to figure out what you can do with that first. I believe it will be Union against LAFC in the MLS Cup. I just don't think LAFC does it, man. I think there's a lot of pressure that's too much to handle, man. But I'll give credit to Steve Toronto. It'll be great. It'll be a great job by him if he gets LAFC into the Cup. LAFC goal. Okay, 1-0 LAFC. There you go. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. LAFC up early right now, 20-some minutes in, so we'll see what happens. But, guys, I'm going to sign off here from Subaru Park, guys. The Union get the dub. 1-0 victory. They're off to the Eastern Conference Finals yet again. You got the Phillies rocking it right now. We got Game 3 tomorrow. Sixers just had the home opener tonight. And you got the Eastern Conference Finals yesterday as well. Yes, you called my name right. Yes, let's go. Watch Andre Blake from school boys days in Jamaica. He was a left back. He was a left back. That is wow. That's a great tidbit. and forward, and then goalkeeper in high school. You know what, Janelle, that makes a lot of sense because Andre Blake is really skilled at his feet. And so that does not surprise me that he played at left back and he played as a forward. But that's really cool. I really appreciate that little tidbit there. Thank you so much for coming in. Hey, listen, Janelle, don't tell my American friends, but when it comes to CONCACAF, we're Rastafari, you feel me? Rasta boys all day. And Rasta girls as well. Hey, we have 2 Colombian international players. Yeah, Duran. Listen, you don't need a DP striker. Duran is it. Right now, awesome stuff. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. We're going to try to, the traffic is kind of slowing down a little bit, so we're going to try to get into that. But, guys, thank you so much for watching. Union off again. Enjoy it tonight, guys. Get some rest. We got next Sunday. A lot of things happening. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe for more Philly sports. Of course, I'm your boy, El Parcero Philly, and I'm telling you guys to do fun. Talk to you guys for the Eastern Conference Finals.